Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for the month of July. Before we get started, I just have to say I'm seeing 11, 11, 11. It's Friday the 11th at 11:11 a.m. So that seems auspicious, and I know that you've been so patient in waiting for this reading. Thank you. Unfortunately, you were the last one this time, but I make sure to rotate that every time. So this will be your reading for July 2025. And my name is Wendy, and today I'll be conducting your reading using the Robin Wood Tarot, which is my favorite tarot deck of all time. It's based on the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's a little more illustrative, a little more earthy, kind of pagan-oriented, nature-oriented. It was designed over the decade of the 1980s and completed and published in 1989. I really hope they reprint it someday because my copy is just so worn. But it is my favorite deck, so we're going to use it today. And I'm looking at this month through the perspective of the bloom cycle. So what's blooming in your life, what is disintegrating or falling away, right? Because that same flower that you saw 2 weeks ago may be curling up and disintegrating to make room for a new bloom. So that challenges us to trust. And then we're going to look at what you're learning or gaining through the cycle. So, Aquarius, July. What is blooming in your life? The Knight of Cups. With the Knight of Cups, I see a supportive community. I see significant friendships, people who show up for you, and I do see shyness as well. I think, look at that horse. And even the knight himself is blushing. I mean, they do look kind of shy, right? They're approaching shyly. We'll do this together. We'll get there. We'll get to the shore. Hello, can I come visit you? So really strong friendship and community connection, community belonging. When I see the Knight of Cups as well, I see a lot of creative influence. And I don't know if some of you have felt like you're struggling lately with your inspiration, or you don't know how to move forward, but I wonder if doing something for another person might help put things into perspective. Like you might find that you're more motivated when you're doing something helping another person, or it makes more sense when you're explaining it to someone else. So maybe you need to have another half in order to, carry the horse forward. Sorry, my cat was all over me when I was getting ready. We like to do our beauty routine together, so he jumps on the counter and he needs me to brush him and pretend to do his eyeshadow. He's doing beauty with mama. So I'm actually allergic to cats, even though I have them. So if I'm a little congested or coughing, I apologize. So anyway, the Knight of Cups. For a lot of you, this could be a romantic interest. It feels like you're ready to explore a new path. You know, the Knight of Cups follows his feelings. It's an inspiration or an idea or a feeling that I want to chase. But I will warn that with the Knight of Cups, feelings can change because the ground is not stable beneath his feet. The tides come and go. So you may find that this maybe is someone you've been, casually chatting with. Maybe the energy's changing a little bit. Maybe they're not showing up or you're not wanting to show up. It's fun to kind of get lost in this feeling. Like when you have a new crush and you're kind of like daydreaming about them, or maybe it's your long-term partner and you have this like rush of romance and you're feeling quite I just heard in more of a serious way. Maybe some of you need to ask for help. That community involvement that we talk about, maybe you're the one who needs. You're either setting something up for community or you're there like showing up as part of something really meaningful. But I do feel for some of you, you need some help. You need this Knight of Cups to come to you. So this is someone who, help is there, help is on the way. Someone absolutely wants to show up for you I'm feeling for some reason that like I keep sensing Sagittarius energy. So it could be through the 9th house activities. It could be a Sagittarius person. And so what I was saying before about feelings changing and going on this inspiration, sometimes Knight of Cups can indicate there's a bit of a distraction from the path, because you have your like month mapped out and then, oh, you start dating someone and now you want to drop your responsibilities, or I was following this idea to see where it would lead me, but now I feel quite lost in it and I don't know how to give structure to this. But it's part of the process. Right now, as the Knight of Cups, some of you, I mean, it's summertime where I live, so some of you could actually be just in the water, splashing about. But it is that feeling of navigating a little bit of confusion and getting kind of lost in that. I'm being told to remind you that it's serving its purpose. So I don't know if you're resisting it, but you are meant to go through this Knight of Cups phase right now. What is falling away from you? What is disintegrating or being released from your life? What is Aquarius releasing? What are we releasing? Oh, the Page of Swords. Too much research, too much time reading about it, theorizing, trying to plan everything out according to the books. Let that go. Let the feeling guide you, let the inspiration take you. What you're creating is taking its own shape. So you can't plan ahead too much. See that telescope around his waist? That Page of Swords is in the library, reading everything, finding the resources, doing the research. You're not meant to be in that headspace right now. You're meant to be acting from the heart space, which again is a big act of trust. It's authentic, it's powerful, it's magnetic, it's electric. And that is what's going to truly connect you to something else, pull you to that next stepping stone, let's say, guide you to shore, or guide you further out into the water. You go wherever you are wanting to go. But yeah, this is taking its own shape. So forget the plan, forget the notes. Just go by how it feels. More spontaneity in your life. And for a very small number of you that may be wondering about like this person that you maybe have feelings for, maybe you broke up, I don't know. Sometimes this can indicate when we're, watching somebody online, or we're trying to get information in a sneaky way. So you're releasing that because it seems to distract you. And again, connecting to that heart space and letting that lead you is more productive at this time. Aquarius, let's see what you're meant to take away from all of this experience. Okay, we have the Three of Swords. Interesting. So for some of you who are maybe interested in someone romantically, maybe they have kind of come and gone, or the feelings have changed and you've been like watching their page, wondering if they're going to reach out to you or what are they up to. The Three of Swords is a lesson that says, yes, it hurts, but I accept this as it is. And I'm getting another message too that's not related to love, so we'll get to that in a second, but it's important, like the first step to healing, to some of you have been grieving. I see that a lot, honestly. I see Knight of Cups a lot when grief is around. And that's why I come to see that community showing up, because it's a communal experience. So you don't have to do it alone. There's a lot of people probably affected by this, and it is emotional, it is messy. There is no true way to go forward, but I will say that acceptance does help. Accepting that something has changed. So I think a lot of you could be feeling a little bit vulnerable or exposed. The way this wounded heart is just out in the rain, completely uncovered. But it almost feels like you kind of have to thrash around in the puddles and be out in the rain to feel something fully in order to heal it. Like, you need to let something absolutely swell inside of you and have this huge cathartic experience to release it. I think you recognize where you've been hurting yourself, doing that Page of Swords thing, checking in over and over again. It's like you've been something that you really wanted and desired and really felt has changed form in your life. And part of the lesson right now is acknowledging that, that didn't work out kind of the way that I thought it would, and it sure changed shape. But it's an organic thing, and so it does change shape over time. You are staying with the organic. You are staying with the organic. But again, I think for a lot of you, there is exhaustion. I see fatigue. I see just feeling like everything's coming at you, and you're like, how many more swords can you fit in my heart? I don't think I can, I'm a pincushion at this point. I don't think I can take anymore. And I'm acknowledging that I need help. I'm acknowledging that I can't do this myself. I can't hold it in anymore. I need the support of someone else or a community, or, however support will show up for you, whether it's professional support, community support. Ideally, you're going to have all of that. But the first step is accepting that it is what it is. Like, I accept that I need help, or I accept that something has changed. And yeah, there's fatigue with this too. Some of you just may feel like the world generally is not predictable anymore. And I don't really know when that shifted. Probably 2019, probably 2020. And that's part of the fear that comes with that Three of Swords, right? So how are you going to navigate forward? Are you going to navigate by still trying to stick to that old way of holding on to things and structuring things and planning things, and then being disappointed when something is organic? It cannot be held in rigidity. You can grow your tomato plants on a lattice, you can grow your roses on a vine on the fence, but you can provide a gentle guidance. You can provide some kind of layout or plan, but ultimately that plant is an organic thing that wants to grow where it is able to get the most sun, and the roots can grow to get the water, and it's going to do what it has to do to grow. And so do you. there's really just this feeling of being exposed, but I promise you that there is a community or a person or like something is your art as well. Knight of Cups as an artist, it will hold you. I promise it will hold you. But what's blooming is just that feeling of the Knight of Cups, like there is no solid ground beneath my feet. Everything is changing so quickly. What can I rely upon? And that's such a profound question that it always comes back to the self, I find. What can I rely upon? Well, I know that I will always have my own back. So that helps lift me up right away, knowing that I have that strength, even if I feel quite alone. And I can rely on, and I think there's a great amount of privilege in saying this, and I acknowledge that, and I acknowledge my deep, deep gratefulness for that. And I acknowledge it can be taken away at any time, but I really do trust the universe will have my back. I feel for you, Aquarius, there could be a profound shift in belief. Is it possible to be a spiritual person but also be existentialist and maybe even nihilistic? Some of you continue to feel like you're on the outside because you just see the world differently. And so when you consider your worldview and how you contribute to that, are you feeling comforted by it? Do you feel strengthened by it? Do you feel weakened or threatened by it? You know, what is your worldview? What are your values at this time? And I feel like for a lot of us, it's too challenging to even think about those things. So you're moving again from more of that like educational, logical, research, philosophical side of life to a more feeling open, taking it as it is to inform your worldview, like empirical evidence. I know this because I see it. I know this to be true because I experience it, I witness it. So you yourself are an organic shape that is absolutely changing at this time, but I think you're also learning to find a great amount of strength in yourself. And even when you have that outsider kind of experience or you feel tired and heartbroken, you know, if you had the support, if you had the inspiration, what would that look like? And what would you be doing differently? Asking those hypothetical questions can really start to open a new perspective. And it's okay, man. There's, sorry to sound corny, but there are times for healing. There are times for pain. They're all part of the experience. And I feel like right now you're just feeling it. You're not trying to rationalize it or explain it away. It's just, this is what I feel. And I'm being really honest about that. And maybe July is just a month where you are feeling that pain and acknowledging the wound, and that's okay. Like, that's okay. You don't have to be on this righteous path, connected in, doing all the right things every single day. Like life can throw us for a loop, and it can leave us feeling disoriented and confused and not knowing where we stand, not knowing what to trust, not knowing how to move forward. And so connecting into that heart space. And I always like to imagine light beaming out from the center of me. And do some, deep breath work. Really helps bring me back to center. So I think, if anything, the takeaway is that it's okay to be where you're at. And even if it really, really hurts, what remains true? What remains in your heart despite those swords trying to get in there and attack it? I mean, those swords can make you bleed, but they can't actually take away your heart. Pluto has been hovering over you for some time, just in that doorway, like a great specter. Aquarius, I'm here, and I'm gonna be here for 20 years. And you're experiencing the most extreme examples of Plutonian energy because it's at the very beginning of your sign, right? So it's at that critical, opening point, and it feels like a shock. And it will cause you to adjust. You will be the phoenix. You will rise again. But it's okay if that's not happening right now. It's okay if you're too tired and overwhelmed and feeling vulnerable. Take comfort in your community. Stop trying to solve everything. Don't worry about it. I think your mind is tired as well. And you might be putting more emphasis on the mind in order to ignore the heart. But what's really coming through here is the feeling and the change that comes with feeling those feelings, acknowledging those feelings. That can be very hard, but it can also be very beautiful. Because in the end, it's freeing. So Aquarius, I'm going to leave that there for now. I do want to wish you a wonderful month ahead, as I've wished every sign. I do know that there is some pain in this reading, but I think there's a lot of potential as well. So if you would like a personal, deeper reading with me, I would love to read for you. I'll put all that information just in the description box below the video. And if not, then I will see you in August for the next one, and I can't wait to see what has unfolded between now and then. Yes, I said that correctly. Bye, Aquarius.